Welcome to the Tech and Accent podcast.
Here you learn about being an expat, working abroad, technology, and more from no-native English speakers. Let's get into it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tech and Accent podcast. My name is Walmyr and today I have the pleasure to receive a very good friend of mine, Jonathan Baraldi. Hey Jonathan, how are you doing?
Hello Walmyr. Doing well, doing great, and you? Hope
Very
you're doing
good
fine.
as well. Thanks for accepting the invitation to be at our podcast. Jonathan, to get started, I would like to ask you if you could introduce yourself. Who is Jonathan personally, professionally, so our audience can know a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the invitation. A brief short of me is I'm very dedicated dad. I have two sons and a very, very happy marriage, and also I am a DevOps engineer with a little bit, I'd say a little bit, but it's a huge bit of interest in AI, machine learning, and data scientists, and a lot of related stuff like artificial intelligence and many other topics. And I used to work as an instructor as a Udemy. I have some courses, and I also have my online community, DevOps for Life. That is a community that I built specific for developers and DevOps engineers, operators, people that have their lives every day in the infrastructure area and the operations area. So awesome. That's it. In short, that's it.
How long have you been in the tech industry?
Since I started working with 16 years. I have 43 today, so more than 20 easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's quite some time.
Exactly.
Awesome. And so, what exactly is your profession? Your profession nowadays? And if you could tell us a little bit about how is like a typical day at your work?
Okay, so this is where things get a little bit interested, because you know more than me, because I also work as a teacher, like I said, in the community and the courses, and so the professional itself is to teach, to solve problems, to develop applications. So one part of the day is creating the courses, providing solutions to the students, things like that. And the other part is to work for the companies that I have contracts and provide solutions for their environments, their Kubernetes clusters, things like that. So a typical day in the work would be more or less these things that I just said, and sometimes more research and developing stuff, and sometimes trying to extinguish some fires, because a lot of problems we have, not every day in the operations area, but sometimes we have some big problems. But it depends. But when you start to plan more tasks and organize the infrastructure, the applications, the pipelines, everything, things start to become more predictive. So you don't have to go every day and extinguish fires, a lot of fire every day in a lot of application, a lot of servers, things like that. So it's a little bit of researching, creating stuff, fixing stuff, providing support to the users, creating content, YouTube channel. I also have my YouTube channel, so there's also more stuff that I have to do to prepare articles for LinkedIn that I used to do also to promote the community, promote the courses.
Sure.
And that's it. It's a very
it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's a very full day.
Yeah. And you mentioned in the beginning that you were passionate about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and that kind of thing. So how do you see, Jonathan, the impact of generative AI, which is a big topic nowadays, in the tech landscape?
I see that everything is already being changed because since our code editors that we have been testing, like Windsurf that we talk about, since pipelines, since applications itself with new features. Now we have chatbot. Now generative AI is being used to develop more different applications. So, for example, now we have tools to create videos, better and better image generations, very different platforms that are being upgraded using AI because the developers and engineers talk to the AI, get the best fit, try to use, test, things like that. So we now see, for example, I'm starting to see a kind of boom of new kind of applications and platforms, very similar to what we see in the beginning of the internet. In .com, remember .com websites, Amazon, Google, all those guys, those very big guys in the beginning, 20 years ago, they've been more or less. But I believe that we already start to see there's various kinds of applications for everything that you can imagine now, even for different kinds of industries. So before 5 years, 10 years, 5 years ago, we used to have normal applications, databases, SAP, ERP, CRM, WordPress, functions, AWS, some very common stuff and very, how can I say, stabilized, but very old stuff, nothing very new. We have the cloud now, we have Kubernetes, we have some stuff, but nothing like the AI that is changing and improving all the other areas. So, for example, even in project management, the guys are now understand how to use agents, and they can use the agents to manage the project, to create the documents, to do this, to do that. So I believe that we are going to test more and more, but the outcome of this we are not know yet. It's something that we can't see. For example, for more 1 or 2 years, I can't see what is going to happen. For example, if we were in 2015 and you say, Jonathan, what do you think in 5 years is going to happen? 5 years is going to be Kubernetes. 2020 is going to be Kubernetes. And it was. But it's a very common and standard because this infrastructure is applications, this and that, containers. But with AI, things changing every day, every time, new models rising, OpenAI itself releasing new. They have these. Just to be short here, Walmyr, they have this AGI stuff that they want to reach. Okay, so this is the main goal for all these AI companies now. We need AGI. We want to have the super intelligence that is going to be able to beat our God, something like that. This is the goal that the guys are trying to reach now. So I don't know if this was reached after this, what's going to come. So I don't know, I have no idea. The humanoid robots that we see, Tesla, Unitree, and many other companies. 1 year, 2 years ago, those robots was totally different. But using generative AI, the developers are able to improve the code and improve the AI of the models itself that the robots run. So it's been exponentially, it's increasing exponentially in almost all industries that we can see. It's something incredible.
Yeah. Would you say that AI is helping developers and other professionals as well being more productive in doing their own job, or is AI gonna take their jobs and do everything without the need for humans?
Well, this is a very simple answer for me. One thing is for sure, AI already code better than me. You just need to prompt engineer in the way that you want. You can do very amazing stuff. In fact, I already build applications, iPhone apps that you can use, anyone can use, to provide training, nutrition, all of this stuff. All the code, the backend code from the iPhone, the Xcode, was entirely done by ChatGPT. The backend with AWS CDK using Python entirely by ChatGPT. So my goal was trying to build one application from the beginning to the end, and a very nice, useful, and something that I can earn some money, of course, that is can be helpful. And you can download, just go to thai.fitness on the browser and you can download. So developing is something that does those models for sure. They already do and already is going to do better. But development is something that is so vast, is so complex, that we can create new language, we can create new process, new ways of thinking, that we need to implement those things. So the parallel that I'm trying to reach here, Walmyr, is the same thing that happened in the beginning of the century when Nikola Tesla created the electric motors, AC electric motors, and automated a lot of human work. You know, many industries, since the lighting industry, electric industry, all the industries that we know in the world, changed for a lot of people that were there working manual work, doing some stuff by a motor, electric motor, and this exists even today. So our society only exists because of this kind of innovation. What happened with those guys that used to work on those manual jobs? They need to become, for example, electrical engineers. They are going to change the profession, and they are going to work in things that is going to be in the other level, better, not better, but in a different way, that they can understand how the technology works and apply it. This is the main key. Understand how the technology works and apply it. For example, even today, if you go to some farm or some place, for sure, it's going to be some manual work. Someone, I want to do this with my hand, because you can replace by something electric or electronic. It's going to be the same. So it's going to be, AI is already being developing for many languages, but this is not the end. This is even the beginning. We are going to use this kind of thing for many kind of use cases, services, industries. I believe, Walmyr, that new kinds of industries are going to rise. You know, this is one thing that I believe. New kinds of jobs, very different jobs than what we know today. New industries, new things that we don't know yet. You know, just this.
And so, by listening to everything that you are saying, I am pretty sure that you are using AI on a daily basis. So, because I was going to ask if you are using, and it seems that you are. So, of course you are. And so, what kind of things you are doing with AI, and how are you using AI to do your job better, to help you build stuff, to help on infrastructure work or anything else?
Yeah, well, this is the massive stuff, because I only don't use AI for write emails for the people that I work for, because everything else I almost use AI for everything else, because the codes, to review the codes, to test, to learn new stuff that I don't know, to fix stuff that is broken, to add new features. So, for example, I know a lot. For example, SQL. I know a lot. I can go there. For example, I have a task. I know in my mind that I need to create a table, make those relationships, create a star procedure. I know all of this. I can write the code. It's going to be a huge code, something like that. You know, it's big. For example, 120, 200 lines, something like that. It's much more easier for me to prompt engineer in the way that I need, because this is something that I have been working. And in a paragraph, I can define how the AI, the model, can create the entire query for me, the entire table, updates the table, things like that. So So instead of working hours creating something, let's go to the AI, one model, different models. I test different models at the same time. I use the same prompt in different models and to see what they are going to answer. I try to, the way that I try to see Walmyr is like if I have around me many Jonathans PhD levels, and I just need to give a task and receive, give a task and receive, give a task and receive, and ask to and wait for this. So I try to organize stuff so to use as much as I can to improve the tasks.
And if I could interrupt you,
stuff.
what
Sure.
do you think is the importance then of reviewing what is being generated by this artificial intelligence? Because one thing that I believe is that you can't simply give a prompt to ChatGPT that will generate some code, copy and paste, and just blindly accept the change. So what's your perspective on that?
The perspective is that this is the challenge, because in my view, you need the AI. Just like I said to you, doesn't matter if I have Einstein here to me. I asked to Einstein to write a new version of the relativity, and he writes to me, and I receive and I publish. But if he did some shit, so I need to be as good as him and understand as almost him, because I make the question if that is the result that I want. Test and think for myself about. So do this in different models, do this very quickly. It's sometimes more stressful and sometimes it's better for you. For example, I'll go to Google, I get the first answer, something like that. Maybe this is going to work. Sometimes
Because this is exactly
okay.
This is exactly where I was going to. I was going to, because before ChatGPT and generative AI was mainstream, many people were like facing an error in a code, and they would not know what is going on. They would copy the error, they would paste on Stack Overflow, they would find answers, they would copy and paste the first most voted answer. It would work, but they wouldn't know why, and they would just accept the change without trying to understand why did that work, or why is it still not working. So my main I am also a person that is using AI in a daily basis, and I believe it's a tool that will help us be faster, will be more productive, and so on and so forth. But I do believe that it's super important that we review the code and we understand the code that is being generated. So I think you brought a very good point, that you can't really just accept the code blindly without understanding exactly what it is doing. You mentioned before that you cannot know what is going to happen in 5 years with everything that's going on with generative AI. But if you had to do an exercise to predict the future, what would you see? How would you see the tech industry, let's say in a 5-year horizon? Do you have any idea? Like it doesn't need to be right, of course, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Sure. The thing Walmyr, that I have been seeing. This is the kind of thing that every day I think, okay, in first place, but every day the outcome is different, because things are changing every day. But there's 2 or 3 mainstream stuff, for example, that I have in mind, always have in mind, not in mind, but in mind, because I see this every day rising more and more. That one of the things are the space exploration, that for example we have the SpaceX now, and we have some other countries, we have the guys are returning to this. I don't know how much this is related to the tech industry, or this is part of the technology industry, because space exploration is one of the immense topics to talk about. So I don't know how is going to be the future, but I believe that many of our developments here in Earth and for the future are going to be for the space exploration. I believe. You're wrong. Another thing is the use and the common use of the robots, humanoid robots, because those robots are the company in, I believe it's a Chinese company, when Unit 3, they are already selling for $16,000. You can buy online on their website a humanoid robot. So every day it looks like people are going to use in their houses to clean, in their job, in the company. So we are talking about AI, but people are trying to use robots to automate a lot of tasks. So there is one stuff, Walmyr. There is one number that I find out. There was something immense. It's something like I'm wrong, but I'm talking about 15 million jobs in United States that no one wants to take. You know, this is something that I have never idea, but I was watching some documentary about Tesla, the robots and all this stuff, and they said that there are 15 million jobs in healthcare, to clean water pipes, a lot of stuff that are very dangerous for people. Pay good, but are very dangerous, and people don't want to work there. So those guys of those industries are already saying we are going to build a lot of robots to automate those things that people don't work.
It's kind of funny.
Don't want to.
It's kind of funny because we used to, like, when we were kids, to watch the Jetsons, and everything was with robots, and we thought this was just science fiction, and we are seeing it happening, like, for real, right? It's so cool.
Man, and the other one, just to finish this one, because I said 3, is related to the tech industry, but I don't know in the future how those things is related to the AI. I have seen some very strange news, because, for example, Google looks like it's going to start to use nuclear energy, you know, because they are using so much models and creating stuff, and that they need for energy is much more than what they are using. So not only Google, but some other companies already said they are going to start to use nuclear energy for AI, power AI. Man, this is something so crazy, so strange that I don't know how much AI is going to impact in the electric grid in the future, or for some countries. I don't know. It's something unbelievable. I saw a news yesterday that Sweden, I don't know, Sweden was they built a supercomputer almost the same size that Elon Musk built, and they need a different grid of energy for that thing. So I said, what's happening? So this is one thing that I want to keep.
So space exploration, robots in the future, and usage of nuclear energy for computation.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's change a little bit the topic, but also related to one thing that you mentioned. You mentioned that you watched a documentary. So I was wondering, what have you been listening to or watching or reading? Do you have any recommendations for our audience? It can be a book, a blog post, a Netflix series, whenever it comes to your mind.
Yes. In fact, I have one, my book. I write a book together with my old friend ChatGPT. I have some support, and I write a book about this book is going to try to resume all of this, because I built a book together. There's a lot of pages, and the idea of the book is to try to give a new perspective of the universe and the existence for the reader.
How's the book called?
the fabric of being.
Okay.
The fabric of being is
And where can it be
available
found?
in Amazon, Amazon.com and Amazon.com.br also. And you can use a Kindle or you can purchase the physical book also. And in this book, I'm trying to review the main concepts that we have about the universe, life, energy, vibrations, a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to create new standards, new words to define better things that we have been using for a long time. That my idea is that the things that we have to define life and many other stuff are very, how can I say, incomplete in a bigger way to see everything. So we always used to see things isolate from the others and not to see the entire. So for build this, for build the book, I use the AI models to use better the AI models. I have also my YouTube channel, but I have some channels that I have with more updated content. Read books it's difficult to read because of the contents, and now that I have been working much more with the AI stuff and DevOps, things online are much more updated. But I try to keep up on YouTube and work a lot with the models and different models, because the models, for example, everybody I believe knows ChatGPT, but other models like Cloud, Mistral, they are training on different data sets. They have different perspectives. So if you ask for
different specializations as well, right?
Yes, exactly. So many times when I'm going to learn something, I'm going to understand a new topic, a new project, or a new technology to develop, or application, anything, I go to the models, talk to them, see what they can refine from the ideas. And one thing that I understand, Walmyr, that I believe that people are going to use, that is the key, is you need to get used to chat with the model, because if people don't use in everyday tasks, in everyday lives, for example, even for my son, I take a picture from, for example, for some problem that he have on his skin, and I take a picture and ask ChatGPT, what is this? Can you help me? What's that? Explain to me. So I use even for the smallest tasks, and even for help my son to learn the ABC, the alphabet here.
The co-host of this podcast, Alekson, he recently went to Iceland for a trip, and he was wondering if he would see the Northern Lights. And he saw something in the sky that he thought could be the Northern Lights. He took a picture, he sent it to ChatGPT and asked, is it the beginning of Northern Lights? And ChatGPT answered, yeah, this is the beginning of Northern Lights. If you keep looking, you probably are gonna see. And then after a while, the lights started dancing in the sky, and he had such a great experience. It's a nice use case. Yeah. Jonathan, there is one question that we ask every one of our guests, and I'm gonna ask you as well, of course. Because in the Tech and Accent podcast, the main idea of the podcast is to talk with non-native English speakers for our audience to understand that you don't need to have a perfect English, you don't need to have a perfect accent to be able to communicate with a different person in a different language than your mother language. So do you have any embarrassing moment, maybe language related or not, that you would like to share with our audience?
Yes, Walmyr. Yes, I have. In fact, I already shared this moment in a YouTube video in my channel. This moment was in fact, was two moments. Was a long time ago. I believe was when we used to work together at a company, very old company that we work in Porto Alegre.
Yeah.
I had an interview at IBM. I had one interview at IBM, and I went to the interview. I passed through the first two steps, through the first stage of the interview, and I went to the last one, to the third one. And this third one was the English interview, not the English interview, but was an interview with a manager of the area, and the guy provided me some problems, some stuff, and man, Walmyr, was something that was very, very embarrassing. Was something nice. I would call it a nice, because the guy said to me, he was so frustrated, and he said to me, Jonathan, you made me lost 30 minutes of my life to stay here, listen to you trying to make we have a term in Portuguese too. I forgot now to say that we are trying to speak English, but we are not. We are just we are doing just some. I forgot now. I'm going to remember. It's inhalation in Portuguese. If people that is listening, but it's like you are keep rolling someone until you reach some place. You just throw words. Keep throwing words for something makes sense. And the guy was very, very upset to me, and he said all of this stuff to me, and I was very upset also. I was very, very upset, and I was very angry also as well. But okay, no problem. Keep going live. Keep going forward. This is the important thing. Okay. Next 2 weeks after, I had another interview, but this time was the second step, and was it
HP. For the same company, or different company?
No, HP. It was to HP, and I was in the Puki. I don't remember. HP was in Puki. I don't remember the other name of the place there that they have the startup there, right? Technopuk. Yes. So I went there. I was a little bit more prepared with my English, my perfect English at that time. So I went there, and I passed the same situation or worse. The guy was a little bit more nice to me, but he said almost the same thing. Yeah, man, what you are doing here? You need to learn English before you came here and try to make a fool of me. You know, the guy was in that level. Said, yes, okay. So after this kind of humiliation, because for me it was a humiliation to pass this kind of situation where I was totally wrong, because I should be able to, but we try. We need to try. But after that I passed through those two situations, I decided to myself, no, I am never going to pass anything like this again in my life. Doesn't matter what. So I went to a Wizard, English school at that time, and I spent 2 years, almost 1 year and a half, a little bit more, and I finished all the levels that I had at that time. I passed in a TOEIC exam and a TOEFL exam, and after this, I started to become much more confident, much more comfortable for new interviews, and okay, that's it. So, but unfortunately, after this, I did not went to any company to speak English, but the English that I keep learning and keep improving every day, I hope, the key in my mind only changed after that I passed through this very embarrassing situation. If I didn't pass through this, maybe until today I was in the same place, doing the same job. But sometimes someone needs to get you out of your comfort zone and say, no. If you want to get better, you need to work to get better. You don't have to pretend. You need to really to put effort. And that's it. This was the situation.
That's a nice one. And I think as far as you learn from the situation, it's okay, right? The problem is it would be if you would just stay in the same comfort zone and not try to study and not try to learn more, and which you did. And we are talking here for 45 minutes in English, and it's working. Jonathan, do you have any final message that you would like to leave to our audience of the Tech and Accent podcast?
Yes. If you guys enjoyed our talk, if someone wants to follow me in my YouTube channel, on my Jonathan Baraldi, just type on YouTube. On my
I'm gonna leave
Jonathan.
your website or any link that you provide me in the show notes so people can connect with you.
Nice. Okay. So those infos about me, and another thing is just that we need to always keep improving and keep learning, because if we stay, this is my mantra. If you stay in your comfort zone for 1 day, 2 days, if you stay 1 week and you look to around you and everything is just fine, this is a problem. This is a problem. You need to push yourself harder and get you out of the comfort zone and see, but what is not good? What I need to improve? Look around. Always we have something to learn, to improve. For example, since that I am dad, this has been a totally different experience in life, because we need to understand the kids, to understand a lot of stuff, and be good parents, change a lot of wrong things that I used to do, and that's it. Just to keep improving, keep enjoying life. Sometimes things are hard, I know, but always have a new day in the rise in the horizon, and that's it. I like it a lot. So thanks for the invitation for the talk, Walmyr.
Awesome. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you would like to add?
Let me see. Nothing. I talk about my book. That would be one of these things. And about the AI is the other thing, is that there is no really no turning back. If you don't get used, don't have touch, don't work every day, for sure you are losing a lot of new cool stuff and innovation and automation, and not only this, but things that you can improve in your normal life, very simple stuff that we have in our daily lives, and that's it.
And if you can send me the link to your book, I can add to it the show notes as well. It was a pleasure having this chat with you, and I hope you that are listening to our podcast enjoyed it as well. If you do enjoyed, leave a comment, put the notifications on so you can receive notifications when new episodes come up, and talk to you in the next one. Bye.
This podcast was edited by Ralf Carneiro.